Gianni Infantino wrote a letter to Argentina praising their professionalism, while FIFA was actively investigating them for a post-match brawl that shocked the world. Over 23 million fans signed petitions demanding their expulsion. And that's just the beginning. This isn't fully on mainstream media yet, but the leaked documents reveal something far darker about football's biggest governing body, and the cover-up that could bring FIFA crashing down to IT was supposed to be a routine letter. A standard congratulations from FIFA's president to a World Cup runner-up. Protocol. Nothing more. But when Gianni Infantino's message to Argentine Football Association President Claudio Tapia was leaked to the press, it ignited a firestorm that exposed the deep rot at the heart of world football's governing body. The letter, sent just days after Argentina's chaotic 1-0 defeat to Spain in the 2026 World Cup final, praised the albiceleste for their professionalism. The very same professionalism that had seen them involved in a brawl after the final whistle, displaying a politically charged banner about the Falkland Islands and sparking allegations of referee favoritism so loud that over 23 million people signed a petition demanding their expulsion from the tournament. Why would the most powerful man in football praise a team currently under investigation for violent conduct? Why would he ignore the mountain of evidence that Argentina had violated nearly every principle of fair play the sport claims to uphold? The answer, according to critics, is simple. Infantino's FIFA isn't a neutral governing body. It's a protection racket. And the Argentina files are just the beginning of the scandal. I would like to reiterate my most sincere congratulations for this important new result for Argentine soccer, Infantino wrote in the leaked letter. The magnificent performance of the albiceleste also contributed decisively to making this edition an exceptional event that captivated millions of football enthusiasts around the world. He praised their constant work, professionalism, and attention to detail, as if the same team that had just been involved in a violent melee with Spanish players was the model of sporting excellence. The timing couldn't have been worse. FIFA had already announced it was investigating Argentina for offensive behavior and violations of the principles of fair play following the post-match incidents. And yet here was the president, showering them with praise while the investigation was ongoing. The football world erupted. Ferran Torres had just scored the only goal of the game in extra time, handing Spain their first World Cup title. Argentina's players slumped to the turf. Lionel Messi stood motionless, staring into the distance. And then, all hell broke loose. As Spain's players raced across the pitch in jubilation, Manchester City midfielder Rodri ran over from the dugout to join his teammates. As he passed Argentina defender Nahuel Molina, the Argentine appeared to punch Rodri on the arm or stomach. That was the spark. Rodri confronted Molina, but it was the Argentine who thrust forward aggressively. Eric Garcia ran over to support his teammate, and Leandro Paredes got involved, jabbing Garcia in the throat. An used substitute, Gavi, tried to intervene, only to be forced to the ground by Thiago Almada. Paredes then pushed Gavi down, putting his hand in the Spaniard's face. But it didn't stop there. Argentina assistant coach Roberto Ayala was seen holding Garcia around the throat, then appeared to strike Spain midfielder Dani Olmo. Paredes threw 2 or 3 haymakers into someone's face. Former England striker Alan Shearer said on BBC coverage, "There is no place or space for that. We know how much it means to them, and we know how much it hurts to lose, but there's a way to lose." Too many times we have seen that from Argentina. The reaction after the final whistle is terrible. Former England goalkeeper Joe Hart was even more blunt. The game's done. They can have absolutely no complaints about what happened today. Disgusting behavior. The match officials initially reported that Paredes had been sent off. The red card was later removed from the record, and FIFA confirmed that no disciplinary action was taken during the match. So let's get this straight. A player commits an act of violence on the pitch, and FIFA just ignores it? This wasn't an isolated incident. It was the culmination of a tournament filled with controversy surrounding Argentina. After their 2-1 semifinal victory over England, the Argentine players celebrated by holding a banner that read Las Malvinas son Argentinas. The Falklands are Argentine. The gesture was a direct provocation, referencing the 1982 war between Argentina and the United Kingdom over the Falkland Islands, which remain a British overseas territory. The banner was held by Tottenham's Christian Romero, former Spurs player Giovanni Lo Celso, and Manchester United's Lisandro Martinez. FIFA has a clear policy against political messages during matches. And yet, the governing body's response was noticeably muted. A spokesperson said the disciplinary committee was assessing the match reports. No imitación, no condemnación. Contrast that with UEFA's response when Spain's players chanted Gibraltar is Spanish after their Euro 2024 victory. They were banned for one game. As a standard procedure, FIFA's independent disciplinary committee is currently assessing the match reports and considering the relevant circumstances before deciding on potential further steps, a FIFA spokesperson said. But to millions watching around the world, the message was clear. Argentina could get away with things that other teams couldn't. And the fans noticed. A petition titled Argentina Out went viral on a dedicated website, demanding that Argentina be kicked out of the World Cup. It is obvious that FIFA and the referees are biased toward Lionel Messi and Argentina, the petition read. Why should the rest of the world compete when the winner has already been decided? Kick Argentina out of the World Cup and give everyone else a fair chance. The petition eventually gathered a staggering 23,316,108 signatures from 170 countries, making it one of the most widely supported online petitions in history. A separate petition on change.org titled Disqualify Argentina from the 2026 World Cup gathered nearly 9,000 signatures, calling for an independent investigation. In recent years, I have grown increasingly disillusioned with international football, especially concerning the unfair advantages certain teams seem to enjoy, that petition read. Argentina, a team with undeniable talent and strong football history, should not have to rely on questionable officiating to secure victories. It's not just about a single match or a few calls. It's about the credibility of the World Cup itself. The controversy reached fever pitch after Argentina's quarterfinal match against Egypt, a game that many fans believe was rigged. Argentina had been trailing Egypt 2-0 in the quarterfinals. They looked dead, finished, out. But what happened in the final 13 minutes of that match stunned the football world, and not in a good way. Argentina scored 3 goals in just 13 minutes, completing a miraculous comeback. Lionel Messi had missed a first-half penalty, and Argentina had looked completely out of sorts. But Egypt had their own complaints. They had a goal disallowed after a VAR review for an earlier foul. Meanwhile, Argentina's late winner was allowed to stand despite an alleged foul on Mohamed Salah, and the referee never called for a VAR review. Egypt's manager, Hassam Hassan, was absolutely livid. I'll say what I think, regardless of the consequences. This has clearly been rigged, and everyone has seen it, Hassan said after the match. If they want them to win so badly, why are they inviting everyone to participate in the World Cup? He claimed that FIFA simply wanted to keep Messi in the tournament. FIFA promotes fair play, but we didn't see it on the pitch. Without those mistakes, the result would have been different. Argentina manager Lionel Scaloni dismissed the allegations, stating that showing favoritism in the VAR era was next to impossible. But many fans weren't buying it. How do you explain Argentina's miracle comebacks? How do you explain the consistent pattern of controversial calls going their way? And how do you explain Infantino's letter praising their professionalism while FIFA investigates them for misconduct? But the scandal goes far beyond refereeing decisions and leaked letters. A separate investigation has uncovered allegations of corruption within the Argentine Football Association itself, and questions are being raised about FIFA's role in the cover-up. In December 2025, a complaint was filed with the U.S. Attorney's Office alleging that the AFA diverted 42 million euros, around 48 million from Argentina's 2022 World Cup prize money, through a network of shell companies. Companies that were registered in Florida just 9 days before Argentina's World Cup win. The main company at the center of the investigation is Tourprat Inter LLC, a U.S. company that holds exclusive commercial rights to the AFA. Investigators found that the company had accumulated upwards of $260 million across 4 U.S. bank accounts, with $42 million allegedly passing through 4 shell companies before disappearing from books. Javier Ferroni, an Argentinian lawmaker whose wife registered Tourpreneur LLC, was stopped by police at the border when trying to enter Paraguay after the Argentine government cracked down on corruption. And the man at the center of it all? AFA President Claudio Tapia, the same man Infantino sent his congratulatory letter to. 54 luxury vehicles were found and seized at a 10-hectare mansion in Pilar, suspected to be owned by Tapia. The AFA has labeled the investigations a defamation campaign, but the evidence continues to pile up. According to TN, the Justice Department discovered that FIFA and CONMEBOL prize money intended for the AFA, including $30 million from FIFA and $10 million from CONMEBOL, was instead routed to Tourpreneur LLC. The money never entered Argentina. It never appeared in the AFA's financial statements. And here's the kicker. The contract giving Tourpreneur exclusive commercial rights to the AFA worldwide, excluding Argentina, was signed on December 9, 2021, just one day after Ferroni's wife submitted an offer to the AFA that would last until December 31, 2026. The contract granted Ferroni a staggering 30% of all international commercial revenue generated by the AFA, plus an additional 10% of all logistics expenses. The AFA's headquarters have been raided. Its training ground has been searched, and Tapia's banking secrecy has been lifted by court order. Why hasn't Infantino condemned the corruption allegations? And why did he send that letter praising the very man at the center of the scandal? Argentina's players hold a political banner about the Falklands. FIFA says they're assessing it. Argentina's players are involved in a violent post-match brawl. FIFA launches an investigation.